Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Ultra Squad, and today we're here with part 2 of What If Issei was a Dragon Slayer, or a Slayer perhaps. With this, I don't want to waste any of you guys' time, let's just roll the intro. It's been 6 years since actually Issei has been free from his prison, his seal of course. And during the 6 years, Issei kind of decided that he should actually learn about this new generation of course. So that's what Issei actually did. He traveled around the world, he learned some things, he learned new things about these humans, about technologies, about actually that these humans can actually like travel around by using cars, planes, and they can actually contact each other by actually using this device called phones. And this thing called the internet, yeah, at first it was actually hard for Issei to use, but as time went on, he actually learned how to use it, of course. He actually really got adapted to actually this new ways, and with this, he actually kind of liked it. This new generation was not actually that bad, and these humans, they were really interesting. Like, back then, they were actually kind of like plain, of course. They didn't actually have a clue to what they were actually doing. They were mostly just farmers, of course, going about their daily life, of course. But right now, they were just pretty much living their awesome life. They actually made something of themselves. Like, geez, 1,000 years already just passed and they were actually just disadvantaged? Like, damn, heck, he should just sleep for another 1,000 years. He wants to see what it actually like then. But heck, he doesn't want to do that. He was just living his normal life, of course. And with this, he'll meet some people along the way. Some people were good, some people were bad, and some people did try to kill Issei. Like, kind of like stray devils, stray exorcists, and stray fallen angels. Yeah, Issei would just kill them. There was no match for him. Sorry about that. Oh man, I had to drink some water, but still. Yeah, there was no match for actually Issei. Issei was actually a completely different actually beast, a completely different actually monster, of course. But that was not the big thing. Issei is not an idiot. He knows that he's been actually kind of like, heck, been sealed by actually God, of course. But he doesn't actually know why, of course. He wants to save his father, but still. They were actually so strange, but he couldn't do anything about it now. The only thing Issei can do right now is just continue to train and to become the dragon god that he was meant to be. So with this, Issei will actually continue training. He did have access to actually fire Dragon Slayer magic, Sky Dragon Slayer magic, Iron Dragon Slayer magic, Lightning Dragon Slayer magic, Holy Dragon Slayer magic, and that's pretty much actually it. He has 5 magics right now, but he actually plans to actually get more, of course. But right now, we'll go on to actually have over 17-year-old actually Issei Hiro, and he's actually pretty much standing in front of actually Kuyo Academy here. Now, if you guys are wondering like why is Issei at Kuyo Academy? Well, basically, Issei actually decided just to go to school, just to give it a chance, of course. He actually got, sorry about that, but, he actually kind of actually decided that to pretty much to give it a chance because actually one of his actually friends told him that he should actually go to school and meet some actually new people, of course, make some friends and things like that. So with this, Issei kind of decided to go to Kuyo Academy. There was some rumors about actually the girls here being actually super hot and things like that, but like heck, that didn't actually pique Issei's interest. I mean, these girls were actually kind of like almost plain average, so they were not really anything special. Now with this, Issei will be enrolled into Kuyo Academy and he'll be actually in class 2A, not class 2B, 2A. Issei is actually smart. Issei is actually really smart. He's not actually that much of a brain dead idiot to be in class actually 2B. No way. So yeah, Issei is actually in class 2 actually A. Now, Issei will actually to spend actually the next couple of actually weeks there, and with this, it will actually kind of be great for actually Issei. Issei will actually see that these people will actually kind of like fun to actually hang around with, and he'll be living, even though Issei was actually over like 1,000 years old, Issei still just wanted to live actually kind of like of a good life. Even though there was no people for him to face off against, of course, no bloodshed or battle, even though he really likes that, but still, he kind of decided that maybe living a peaceful, quiet life is not that bad, but it won't stay that way for long. Pretty much 2 weeks will pass, as Issei will be in class, as pretty much the door opened to reveal Kiba Yuto. Now Kiba will actually ask for Issei to actually follow him to the club room. Issei will actually tell Kiba that he's not interested in following actually little devils along in the school. Jeez, I can't talk today. So with this, everybody will actually kind of be confused and ask like, what does he mean by devil? Now, people will tell Issei to keep it down, and Issei will actually sign. With this, he will actually kind of follow Kiba to the orc room. Now, once they actually got there, Issei will be introduced to actually Ray's Grimmery. Ray's Grimmery will introduce herself and pretty much her parade members, Akuno, Konoko, Arcia, and also Kiba. Yes. Now, Issei actually told actually Ray's to get to the point, of course. What does actually the descendant of Rudius actually Grimmery, the first generation of the Grimmery wants for actually him? Now, Ray's was actually going to be surprised and ask what was Issei actually kind of talking about. And Issei would say like Rudius. Like, no, not Rudius, but Rudius Grimmery. The first heir of the Grimmery. She is the most powerful actually Grimmery of all time. Anyway, heck, she was not actually alive to actually live to actually to see her. She's actually still alive, but she's actually still sleeping, so yeah. With this, Issei will actually tell Ray's to get to the point. What is it? But Ray's will actually tell Issei that she wants him to join actually her parade. Issei was just actually straight up just be looking at her like she grew a second head. Issei is a dragon. He actually burns all whatever he wants. He destroys all whatever he wants. He actually kills all whatever he wants. If you really like, this girl was actually asking him to join actually like her parade. Now Issei doesn't know about the whole parade thing, but he did get some actually ideas and actually some actually information about like some people join the devil actually parade for actually powers and things like that. They're basically the slaves, of course. Now, Riz is asking a dragon, a proud noble dragon, the Dread Dragon Emperor King, to be actually her servant? Hell no. Issei doesn't run like that. He would actually tell Riz what he was actually thinking. And with this, he would not actually tell Riz that he was actually the king of actually the Red Dragon Emperor, no. But he would actually tell Riz that he is a dragon, that he is noble and he serves no one but himself. That he soars the sky by himself. And she's asking him to join actually her parade? She must be crazy. Issei should just incinerate her right now. But this, he would actually get up and preparing like a fire actually attack with actually lightning infused into it, and everybody there got actually on their feet, ready to fight. But Issei was set off a killer intention that this would actually make them surrender down. Like once he felt it, it was actually completely different. It was like somebody who was actually experienced in actually killing and actually already fought in like a war. Like it was insane. Reyes will actually calm the situation down, saying like she didn't know, she just wanted to actually ask Issei if he was interested in joining her. I mean, think about it, if he becomes actually her servant, Issei can have a lot of benefit. He can have, like, if he becomes a high class devil, he can have his own parade, his own territory, women, money. But Issei was straight up refused that he already has that. Well, besides from actually women, of course, but still, he has his own territory, he has money. He doesn't need to be a servant. If you really want something in life, you need to work for it. That's what we dragons do. We work to get where we are right now. It's not handed down to us. We go through beneficial bloodshed battle to get where we are now. So with this, Issei will straight up actually leave the room. But before he can leave, he would turn back and he looked towards Reyes again, and he walked towards her. Reyes actually thought that probably Issei changed her mind, but no, that was not it. Issei will walk past Reyes and he will be eyeing Akuno. Now, Akuno being the frustration person that she is, she will actually kind of tell Issei that he actually has his eyes on her, did he actually fallen for her now or something? But Issei will actually straight up looking at her around and sniffing her. And with this, Issei will say one word that will actually kind of like piss off Akuno. You're barbecue was keen, aren't you? This Akuno will actually be surprised. She'll clench her fist, and her fist will actually start bleeding for actually holding it too tight. Her hair will cover her eyes, and this she will actually tell Issei to get out right now. And her lightning will start sparking around her. Issei kind of like says like, "Ooh, feisty, just like actually your father." Now with this, Issei will leave, and once Issei actually left, Akuno will actually kind of like lose character. She will break the table that Reyes' desk that she was actually sitting, or not sitting on, but that was in front of her. Everybody was actually surprised that Akuno lost her cool, that she just like went on a flip. Like, what the heck? But Reyes actually knows that pretty much Akuno's past, yeah, she hated all men, especially her father. Now with this, we pretty much have a time skip to where Issei would actually just be actually, like chilling in class, and with this, the door was actually open to reveal not just Kiba, but it'd be actually Reyes. Everyone would be surprised that, wait, Reyes, why is actually the great lady actually here? Now, Reese were asked to talk to Issei in private, of course. Issei would actually kind of like says like, yeah, sure, whatever. Now, he actually asked Reese what does she actually need, and Reese actually told Issei that she needs his help in facing off in a rating game, of course, with someone. And with this, Issei was straight up refused. He was not interested in facing off against this stupid rating game, of course. Issei doesn't know what it is, of course, so yeah. But Reese begged Issei to do it, like to please help her in this. Like he's so powerful that he's pretty much the only one that can actually help her. She will actually offer Issei anything, herself, her body, anything. But Issei would look at her like say like no, she's not really actually her type. But this Reis would beg Issei to help her in this, like she needs the help. But Issei would actually have enough. He would say like fine. He would actually help her. And Reis would actually say to Issei that was great, that she would actually kind of like help. Issei would help her during the training for this 10 days for the rating game. So with this, Issei would actually kind of agree, but there was actually a price that she needed to pay for actually like asking for help for a high-ranking dragon, of course. Yeah, she would have to pay the ultimate sacrifice. Not right now, but later on, she would need to actually sacrifice something that will benefit Issei. With this, Reese was actually kind of a little bit scared, but at the same time, she will actually agree. But with this, the next day, the Grimmaries group will be actually at the bottom of the mountain preparing their training, but Issei will be there. And it was not going to be a cakewalk in the park, no. The moment that they saw Issei already begun their training. Issei started to actually shoot hell flames actually like at them, and with this they will actually all start to run it on top of the mountain. And with this, Issei made it so difficult. Issei would actually destroy bits of the mountain, rocks started to fall on top of them, of course, and with this they actually had to try to avoid it. And even some who actually fell, they just fell, they had to redo it all over again. So with this, it actually took them 24 hours just to get on top of that mountain, of course, because Issei did not make it difficult. Now, once they actually got there, Issei completely started to actually attack them. Like legit, no resting, no nothing. The moment they got up there, Issei immediately just started to attack them. Using actually like sky actually magic, pretty much blowing them actually off the mountain again, and pretty much they had to fly back up again. And this actually became the same thing. They tried to attack Issei. For this 9 days, they tried doing this. They started to fight Issei. But Issei was not going easy. Well, he was actually going easy on them. He was actually kind of using like, there was basically a love tap that Issei was just giving them. Not the full extent of his power, but still. But they did improve, of course. Issei actually made, like, Konoko and actually Akano reveal their true powers. Now, even though they hated it, of course, Issei did tell them that pretty much, if they really want to win this game, they need to be at their full power. That pretty much is actually pathetic for somebody at their actually kind of level to lose to pretty much over a phoenix. A phoenix here. He remembers during the time that the phoenix was pretty much of a bitch. They were actually just a nuisance to him. They were pretty much just hiding, running away. The only thing that saved them was just their regeneration, and that's literally it. They weren't even that much of a big deal in actually the war, of course. So with this, Issei forced them to actually use actually their true powers, and with this, they actually kind of stick with it. And with this, the 9 days will pass, and surprisingly, Reis will actually win the rating game, of course. It will not even a competition, since Reis is actually properly trained in this, of course, and she will actually kind of win this. Like Akano, Konoko, easy. It was actually just the three of them that did most of the work. Of course, Kiba did some of the work too, but still, mostly Konoko and actually Akano did most of the work. So yeah, they will end up actually winning. And with this, we basically go on to actually the Kokomo arc. Now, I'm pretty much going to actually just skip most of this, because everything here actually just pretty much stays the same. Now, pretty much actually Zenobia and actually Irina goes to actually Reyes and Sona and explain to them not to get involved in their business. Kiba actually ends up challenging them to a battle. Kiba ends up actually kind of like losing, because he's not that kind of strong yet, even though he did put up a good fight in this one, but still, not good enough, of course. But still, heck, Kiba actually goes rogue. Everything actually goes normally in this anime. Since Issei has never had an encounter with Irina, of course, they never really met, because Issei is actually over 1,000 years old. So yeah, well, I'm gonna give something to Issei that's gonna kind of make him broken already. So yeah, Issei has Excalibur, the real Excalibur, of course. Yeah, Issei has Excalibur. During actually the Holy Great Battle War, yeah, Issei actually did took Excalibur from this actually one angel. He doesn't remember actually the angel's name, but still he did take it, and since then Issei just kept it, of course. Now with this, what they actually Zenobia and actually Irina have was actually the prototypes. Those were just the prototypes, they're not the original one. That god was actually basically just forged already, but not yet completed. So yeah, Issei has the real Excalibur. But it was just there for actually kind of like furniture, like kind of like nice decoration. So yeah, but right now we'll actually time skip to where actually Issei will be actually staring at this whole town. Of course, he'll be looking at actually this how town is so actually nice and so on. But he felt something. He felt like a storm was actually basically coming, but it was actually stopped there. Issei would actually kind of like sense something. He would actually sense of a familiar energy that he actually thought he would never felt before. When this, Issei will go to the school, and then he will see actually Riz and actually the two exorcists there, Irina and Zenobia, face off against Kokobel and Freed. And there, they actually stood no chance. And Issei was surprised to see Kokobel here. And with this, Kokobel was actually going around and about, actually him starting actually the Great Holy War again, things like that, and pretty much yada yada this, yada yada that. So yeah, he just wanted to start a war again. Now, Issei was actually gonna be surprised. Kokobel was here? Oh hell yeah, he remembered Kokobel. He remembered how he made Kokobel his bitch. He remembered the time where pretty much Kokobel was pretty much begging for his life for Issei not to kill him. So he just pretty much spared him because he felt pity for him. So now he's actually here, wanted to start the Great Holy War. Another one? Yeah, they actually did start in it. It would not be the most bloodiest one. It would just actually last for about 200 years, and then all the faction members will be extinct. So yeah. So with this, Issei will just break the barrier that was actually holding actually Kokobel. And with this, he'll appear right in front of Kokobel. And with this, Issei will say like, a long time no see, Kokobel. Kokobel will look at Issei's eyes, and his eyes will widen. It's you! It can't be! Issei will say like, yes, it's been a while, old friend, or should I say, little bitch. With this, Kokobel will be taking a step back, and everybody will be surprised to see Issei has actually come here to help them. With this, Freed will actually go off to attack Issei, of course, but with his new sword, but Issei will completely eat Freed's sword. He will completely munch it down like it was just a snack. Now, Freed will be completely surprised, but Issei will actually shout out, Fire Dragon Iron Fist! With his Issei's arm will be covered in iron, and with his fire will be surrounding it, and Issei will punch Freed in the stomach, completely killing him. His fist will go inside out. Well, actually Homelander did too, actually Black Noir, so yeah, kinda like gruesome, so yeah. So with this, Freed will actually fall towards the ground, and with this, they're actually like the person who, like the priest who actually made Kiva's life hell, will be surprised that he actually kind of said like, impossible. How is that even possible? He ate my creation. But Issei would say like, huh, that was actually nice. Now I have a fire in my belly. Now with this, Issei would kill off actually the exorcist or like the priest there, and with this it would be now actually Kokobel and actually Issei. Issei actually did take care of actually the hound dogs. They were actually no match for him. Now, pretty much Kokobel would say like, how are you even alive? It shouldn't even be possible. With this, Issei will whisper something to Kokobel. If you really want him to actually beg for his life again, then he should pretty much get out of here. With this Kokobel, he values his life even more. He's not facing off against this demon, of course. So with this, he will just fly away. But before he can even escape, Kokobel will be flattened down to the ground, and then we'll see the White Dragon Emperor Bolt Lane. Of course, I did put this in my community tab, so yeah. He will land on Kokobel's back, breaking his back a second time, of course. So yeah. And with this, Volane will actually act for actually Kokobel, but Issei will actually point towards Kokobel that she was stepping on actually him. She will look down, and with this, she will actually kind of be like, oh, okay, that made it a lot easier. But she asked for actually the other two and what happened to them. But Issei said like, yeah, he killed them, of course. Now, Albin would decide to speak and said like, wait, it's you, Issei Dragneo. It's been a while since I've actually seen you before. You have actually changed. With this, Issei would say like, Albion, it's been a while since we actually met each other. Not during the time the Great actually Holy War was actually taking place. You and Drake was actually having the most epic battle. But since I actually finally met you, I really want to ask you a question. Do you know what my father is? With this, Albin will actually straight up refuse. He has not seen Dreg for a long time. Since the day that pretty much he'd been turned into a second gear, he's not seen Dreg or even heard of him for quite a while. Now, everybody will be kind of surprised to see like issei talking to Albion like they're old friends or something, and this would surprise Verlaine. With this, Verlaine will actually ask Albion who exactly he is. Albion would say that this is issei Dragneo. He is the king of actually Dreg, the Red Dragon Emperor of Domination. He is the son of Dreg. Now everybody there listening to this will be shocked that issei is the son of the Red Dragon Emperor. That was crazy. That was crazy. And this was actually truly a surprise. Everybody would be quite terrified to hear this, that issei is the son of actually Dreg. Now, Verlaine would actually kind of hyped about this. Like, this was going to be so interesting to fight issei. But Albert told Verlaine that she cannot fight issei. Issei is a different actually dragon. He is actually quite of a powerful dragon. He doesn't even know how powerful issei actually got it. But Verlaine does not listen. She will put down Kokobel, and with this they will commence the epic battle. And with this, issei will fly towards Verlaine, and with this he will grab her by the face, slam her towards the ground, making a huge crater. Verlaine will fly up, and she will launch her actually devil magic towards issei. Issei will completely avoid it before actually he will shout out Fire Dragon Iron Roar before he will launch a fire attack towards Verlaine. Verlaine will actually use Divine Dividend, but Issei will actually fly towards Verlaine. Verlaine actually tries to use Divine Dividend again, but issei will actually boost his power 5 times, appear behind Verlaine, and he will actually break her actually back. Well, not really break her back, but break parts of her actually armor, of course. Verlaine will actually go flying towards that ground. With this, she will get back up and surprise how powerful issei really was. Issei will actually go and shout out Iron Dragon's sword before launching a sword. Well, his hand will actually turn into a sword, extended towards Verlaine. Verlaine would actually immediately dodge out of the way, and this issei will actually shout out Holy Roar. And with this, issei will let out a breath attack. With this, it would destroy the ground. Verlaine was barely able to avoid it, but issei will actually shout out Sky Dragon, Breaking Wind. Creating actually a wind tornado, issei would launch a hell actually fire, or kind of crimson fire, turning it into a fire tornado, making Verlaine engulf in it. Now, Verlaine was actually engulfed, and she was being wrecked, of course, like a ragdoll. It was actually not even a competition. Issei was holding back. Issei will actually kind of like shout out Lightning Dragon Iron Fist, and he will actually strike actually Verlaine in the stomach, making her go paralyzed, of course. But this is what actually issei actually needed. Issei will actually throw out a good punch toward Verlaine again, placing a magic seal on her. Kind of like what actually Sting did to Natsu. Now, Verlaine couldn't move and ask what did issei actually do, but issei actually said to Verlaine that she just made his punching bag. Now issei will charge towards Verlaine, and with this he will rapidly hit her with actually his fire fist over and over and over again. Verlaine couldn't move. It was actually like issei was actually of a monster. Like, this was actually truly of a one-sided battle. She couldn't do anything. With this, issei would actually just completely have to just shout out Fire Dragon Sword Horn before actually launching himself towards Verlaine, hit her in the head before launching her actually all the way back. Now Verlaine's armor will be completely broken before actually issei will be stepping or kind of like standing above her. Now Verlaine realized that she couldn't win. That the only way that she can probably win against issei was going into a Juggernaut Drive. So that's what she did. She went into a Juggernaut Drive, and that's where things got crazy. Issei would be staring at Verlaine in her Juggernaut Drive form, and issei kind of smirked. It was time for him to get a little bit serious. So issei will activate his Dragon Force, of course, and there you would see issei's body changing. Scales started to appear around of him, of course. A horn started to grow out from issei's forehead. 2, or kind of like, no, you know what, screw that. 5 dragon wings started to have to come out from issei's back. His nails turned into claws. His teeth turned into canines. It was so sharp. And with this, issei's eyes turned out to actually to what? Brown to green. It was actually so monstrous. And with this, issei would be flying towards Verlaine. Verlaine would do the same to issei, and with this, she would try to attack him. And she would try to actually grab him, but with this, issei didn't move a muscle. Issei would be standing there, holding Verlaine, and with this he will throw her up into the sky. And with this, kind of like what actually Natsu and Dragon Cry would actually do to that kind of dragon, who completely one-sidedly destroy her. No matter what she actually did, no matter what Valane did, it was no match for actually Issei. Issei was just way too fast. His fighting style was actually completely synced. It was like perfect. Like he honed it like to perfection, of course. No matter what Valane would actually do, try to divide his strength. Issei would completely to boost his own strength by actually 10 times, 5 times, 20 times, 30 times, of course. No matter what she did, Issei was just actually too strong. Issei was already on the level over a Dragon Emperor level. Issei was actually just toying with Valane. With this, Issei would grab Valane by actually the throat before slamming her towards the ground over and over again, creating a massive crater before Issei he would actually charge up his Fire Dragon Destruction Fist before he would slam it towards Valane's actually stomach, creating a huge actually explosion that blew everyone away, including the school was destroyed, of course. The place where the school was completely destroyed. Surprisingly, Reyes and the rest did survive, but heck, Kokobel was actually killed. Sadly, yes. Now, Valane will be in the crater, coughing out blood, and she will be looking at Issei. Issei will grab Valane up by the hair, and he will actually tell Valane that she's strong, but she's not strong enough to be on his level. And he will actually spare Valane, telling her that she can actually just go now and to get strong. With this, Issei will walk away. Now, before Issei can even leave, Issei will hear someone calling his name. And surprisingly, Issei's eyes will widen. He never actually heard his name for a long time. Issei will turn around and he will see Tiamat there, and she does not look happy. She was standing there with a pissed expression on her face, and with this, her eyes was that glow of rage and anger. And Issei said like, oh fuck. But guys, I'm going to be ending the what if actually here. If you guys actually like this, let's get the video up to about 30 likes. And with this, I'll be actually uploading part 3 very soon. My name is Ultra Anime. I'm logging out. Peace.